Greetings, welcome back to the channel. What do we have on tap today on a nice cold winter's day? Back inside again. I don't know, when I'm going to get back out on the front porch. I much prefer doing this out there. It doesn't interrupt anything going on inside the house. I have to, get the TV muted and otherwise disturb the normal goings on in here to involve everybody else in this kind of trivia. But today we have Westwego from Farbourg in New Orleans, Louisiana. I've done a couple other their beers. The names of them escape me right now, but what I'll do is dig through the ones I've done from them, and I'll link those reviews in the description. And if I get really energetic, I'll throw them up there as well. If memory serves, I know one of them I did particularly enjoy. Now this one, it's a West Coast IPA. I've said this 1,000 times. I'm going to say it 1,000 more times. IPAs for me are just white noise. It's just, oh, it's another IPA. Oh yeah, it's another IPA. It's like bottled water, other than, doesn't taste like water. There's just not much difference from one to the next. A lot of the time I do find that I tend to lean towards, if it's a low ABV, the New England style, the hazies and the juicies. I like those much better than a West Coast style that's a lower ABV. But so many of those are just a big glass of hops, and if one's a big glass of hops, then all of them are that similar style. There's so much sameness, and that just grates on me after a while. But this one is 8%, so there's hope that I may actually enjoy it. Of the West Coast styles, I do tend to enjoy the higher ABVs more. This one isn't listed on the can as being an Imperial or a double IPA. It's just West Coast style IPA. Now, just the aroma coming off the can, I'm just now pouring this in the glass, it was really nice. Just dawned on me that I was getting that. Oh yeah, it's citrusy and fruity. It smells great. There's only one way to find out, what I'm going to think of it. You know what? That's nice. The biggest reason that I tend to gravitate more towards the higher gravity, or the higher ABV IPAs is they do have a little more fruitiness and a little more malty backbone up front than the lower ABVs. I've reached a point that if it says Session IPA on the can, I'm not even going to pick it up. I know I'm not going to like that, and I know I'm not going to like it going in. It's going to be 4.5 or 5%, and it's just going to taste like pine sap, hairspray, and sadness, quite frankly. Now this one is really rosiny on the finish. It's citrusy and grapefruity and all that up front. It's a little bit malty. Could be a little more malty for my taste, but that's me. All right. I can't believe that the dog just walked around and through the mic cord and didn't get tangled up in it. That's a shocker. Usually, her sole purpose when I try to do one of these is to wrap up in the mic cord or bump into the tripod and basically cause a bunch of chaos. It's just amazing, a 12-pound dog, what they can do. This is rather nice. I tell you what, the list of IPAs that I keep on hand during the warmer months, as granted, this is not IPA season. It's coming up. I mean, we're just a couple of days before Thanksgiving at this point. I'm drinking stouts and porters and triples and all of that this time of year. It's my preferred style anyway, but you know, look, this is a nice golden. I mean, it's just a touch from, you know, being an amber colored affair. The can's nice, you know, it's got Pelican and a seafood restaurant. Look at that. Yeah, one of these days, when my wife and I love New Orleans. You know, pre-Katrina, we were there a lot. And then post-Katrina, we went some, and then, you know, I spent almost 10 years in South Carolina. So that put the kibosh on going back and forth. But now that I'm back in Mobile, it's just a couple hours away. I assume that we'll be, you know, making those runs back and forth. I mean, you know, we're empty nesters, so it's just the two of us. Why not? And Farbourg is definitely a place that's on my list to visit. I always encourage everyone to visit your local breweries. If you have any to go see them. You know, it's just we're catching up here downtown, which is I can walk to a couple now. It's a lot of fun to do. Yeah. The list of the ones like this that I tend to keep is really short, but I will probably add this one to that list because this is rather pleasant. The problem is it's 8%, you know, and I can't just sit down with it. You know, look, I drink beer, but I'm a bit of a lightweight. I can't drink a bunch of 8%ers in an afternoon. It's a recipe for disaster. But a couple at the house in the evenings when the weather's more IPA friendly, I'm all for it. And this one would be a good option if I was going to score it on the. I know you're going to do it, Tootsie Pop. You can't help yourself. She's down there. It's just she's looking at the cord. Where was I? Man, that's what happens when you get old. Anyway, I guess. Instead of worrying about what the dog's doing, I've said all I need to say. If I was going to score it on the Untapped scale, that's where I was. I'd give this one a solid 3.75. I do rather enjoy it. So, given all of that info, if you found this helpful at all or informative at all, or if you enjoyed it, and even if you didn't, how about like and subscribe? You know what that costs you? Nothing. It's a little click down, you know. It's even going to be either over here in a minute, or right here at the end of the video. So just do that for me. So, wrap it up. Please enjoy your adult malted beverages responsibly.